turn your mic on.
How's the lights at the tree? That's where you went to see the lights at the gazebo.
Yeah, I want to go inspect it. Yeah. Okay. This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, and adequate notice of this meeting has been provided as required by law. Certain portions of it may be closed to the public for the purpose of personnel and or other matters outlined in the Sunshine Law. Decisions made and discussed in closed session will be made known to the public at a later time. All contracts awarded by mayor and council must comply with the affirmative action requirements of PL 1975 C127. Fire exits are located in the directions I'm indicating. If you are alerted for fire, please move in a calm, orderly manner to the nearest smoke-free exit. Notice to members of the governing body and borough staff, any use of electronic devices during this meeting shall be used solely for the purposes of borough business, and any communications are subject to the Open Public Records Act. Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Here.
Councilman Connolly.
Here.
Councilman Johnson.
Present.
Councilman Signorello.
Here.
Councilman Ravina. Here. Councilwoman Belomo.
Here.
Mayor Signorello.
Here.
All present, Mayor.
Okay, Andrew, opening prayer and pledge of allegiance, please.
Eternal God, grant us thy help in all our duties and perplexities. We ask for thy guidance. Give us thy protection in our dangers and sorrows. Grant us thy peace. Amen. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Okay, there are no communications for consideration this evening. There are no proclamations and presentations for consideration this evening. We are now at the portion of the meeting reserved for the public hearing on year 48 CDBG program funds, activities and priorities for the Borough of Roselle Park. This public hearing is required to get input from the residents. Mr. Clerk, please read the proposed projects for year 48.
49.
For
It's my typo, sorry.
year 49.
The proposed projects include priority number 1, improvements to Clay Avenue, limits Locust Street to Walnut Street. Walnut Street. Amount requested $344,405. The category is facilities and public improvements. Priority number 2 is senior citizen social service program in the amount of $40,995 under the social services category.
Squeak this one in before the end of the year, huh, Andrew?
That's right.
May I have a motion to interrupt the regular order? No. Yeah, may I have a motion to interrupt the regular order of business to conduct a public hearing on year 49 community development funds?
So move. Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Would
Somebody like this.
anybody like to come up and speak on this? May I have a motion to open the public hearing on, May I have a motion to open the public hearing on year 49 community development funds?
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak on year 49 community development fund should come forward, state their name and address for the records, and provide their comments. Cool. Seeing no one, may I have a motion to close the public hearing on year 49 community development funds?
So move. Second.
Is there any,
All in favor.
no, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
I'm sorry, guys. I just woke up from a nap. The public hearing on year 49, I had green tea. I thought that was going to do it. It's not. The public hearing on year 49 community development funds is now closed. Okay. May I have a motion to approve meeting minutes pending corrections?
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion that bills and payrolls be not read and passed for payment?
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to open the public portion on agenda items only?
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If you would like to speak, please come forward to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. May I have a motion to close the public portion on agenda items only?
So move. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Paul is excused, so is Ray, setting up for Christmas activities. Andrew?
Yes, Mayor. The borough received proposals for 2023 professional services earlier in the week. There were quite a few. Have not gone through them yet. We will be uploading those and sharing those with the governing body this either tomorrow or Monday. The only other bit of news that I want to share, well, 2 things. We have the 2023 reorganization meeting has been set for Monday, January 2nd, 2023 at 7 p.m. in this room. So the public notice has been put out for that. Another and last bit of good news is we did get notice of our fiscal year 2023 grant award from the state DOT. We were awarded $336,990 toward the repaving of Dalton Street and Myrtle Avenue, which will happen mid to fall of 2023 after the capital budgeting process. So that's all I have, Mayor.
Cool. I'm just going to hijack your update for a second. So on road work, we did the CDBG hearing. It's good news and it's bad news. Part of the reason why this is getting selected, West Clay, is quite frankly, we've done most of the roads that are CDBG eligible. So there's really only 2 or 3 strips that remain. This was one of them, and quite frankly, of the 2 that are eligible, this was in worse shape. So I want to dovetail off that. The other thing was, what else did you talk about? You talked about
Professional services, reorg.
reorg. Oh, yeah. So reorg, we're actually doing it a little bit earlier than we normally do it. We have not only are we reorging this year, but we're also, this is the first year we're going to be in a new legislative district for the state. So we're moving to LD 22. I don't think anything's final yet, but I think we're going to have our new state senator, Senate President Nick Scuteri there. So we're trying to accommodate to make sure that he could join. I think it'd be a nice introduction to Roselle Park. So, yeah. Okay. I don't know why I just took your thingy. That's fine. Cool. I'm the mayor. Ken.
Get this up, Kubo.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a reminder, taxes and sewer are past due. We did have the tax sale. All the properties were sold. And if you can get a payment in before the end of the year, we'd greatly appreciate it. That's all I have right now, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Kenneth. Chief McCaffrey.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I've already submitted my chief's report. I can answer any questions pertaining to that. I only have 2 things for you, but they're 2 things of value and substance. Our police department will be joining other Union County police departments by being part of the Safe Place initiative. This program was originally created in Seattle and now has begun to go nationwide. The program is called Safe Place, and it will provide a location and safe haven for anyone feeling harassed, bullied, or threatened. The designated locations will have a sign in the window, which I'll show you in a moment, or predominantly located inside the store or the venue, indicating that it's a safe place. The safe place location owners or workers will be receiving informational training as to what's expected of them. Our department has begun the process of registering our local businesses to be a part of this venture. I'm also happy to report that I met with Roselle Park School Superintendent Mr. Garrido, and he is also instituting this in our school district in the near future. Officer Jessica Cambronero from our department is the liaison for the program. If you would like to be, for your business to be a part of this, or if you'd like to know more, you can contact the Roselle Park Police Department and ask to speak to Officer Cambronero. So in essence, this is again, this is going to be what you would see in a window, something that looks like this. It's going to have our logo on it, but this is the generic version of what it would look like. You'll see this in the stores that we're able to get to join on board. And if you're feeling harassed, you're feeling threatened, anything at all, the store owners will be advised of what's expected of them. Cool. Great idea. We were one of the first departments in the county with the Union County Prosecutor's Office to get on board with this. So
Do we have any areas that signed up yet?
we do, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
Nice.
So there's a buy-in. We're in the process. We didn't do a full rollout of it yet. I know Councilman Rabina was asking about it. We haven't done a full rollout of it yet because we're still recruiting businesses.
Yep.
And we'll do a more of a press release type of scenario.
Cool. Awesome.
And the second thing that I have is I am happy to report that our police department will be a part of a pilot program to bring services to those in need of mental crisis, who are in a mental crisis, excuse me. Our police department will be partnering up with Trinitas Hospital to have a psychological screener available on duty at various times throughout the day. Currently, the Elizabeth and Linden police departments are involved in this program, and now our department will be joining in it. By being involved in this program, mental health screeners will be available quicker, and they will be able to use their expertise to assist those in crisis who need additional resources. Our officers actually have mental health screeners. Our officers will actually have mental health screeners in our vehicles in the event they are needed. There has been a surge in mental health related calls for service nationwide, and our department is taking steps to do a better job in helping this group of people. Very excited about this, Mayor. I know I spoke to Councilman Johnson, our Public Safety Committee, Councilman Signorello. This is a great venture for our department, for our town. We're going to be able to provide services to those in need of mental assistance much quicker. And a lot of the calls that we as police deal with in law enforcement is mental health issues. And if we can get a screener there quicker, it can only help us.
Yeah, it sounds very much like a win-win. Thanks for getting us involved
one.
there.
Last thing I have, Mayor, is tomorrow evening and through Sunday is the borough will be hosting the Winter Marketplace. We hope to see all of you out there. We'll have a nice police presence. Please say hi to our officers. They're there to keep you safe, and it'll be a great event.
Cool. Chief, just one quick request. Once we get the businesses signed up for the first bit, maybe we could do just a quick like pseudo ribbon cutting sort of thing. Raise some awareness around. It can be kill two birds with one stone. Give some good PR for the businesses who are willing to help, and then also we can get some pictures with those folks.
Sure, we could do a press release, whatever you like.
Cool. Sounds good.
Thank you,
Mayor,
sir.
if I may?
Yeah.
Chief, also, I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn, but me and Mike was talking about this and discussing this, and the veterans would like to sign up and be a part of that Safe Place
Oh, that's a good
program.
spot.
It's actually a great idea, and during our discussion, we today, after I finished speaking to you about it, we think it's a great idea and we want to get involved. So if you can have Officer or Detective Carbonaro reach out to
I certainly will.
myself or Councilman Connolly, we would greatly appreciate it.
Probably I'll have her reach out to you on Monday.
Thank you. And
Thank you.
The second thing I just wanted to say, thank you very much for taking the initiative and stepping up to getting involved in the Arrive Together pilot. I just wanted to say thank you very much, Chief. That's outstanding. So
Thank you. I appreciate the support.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks.
Coach Ranieri?
Thank you. I would like to thank Mayor Signorello and Town Council for giving me the opportunity to provide a brief update. The goal of the Roselle Park Recreation Department is to meet the recreational needs of our community. As part of our department's effort to meet these needs and expand community services, our department provides a wide range of programs. Membership and recreation. We currently have over 400 recreational members. Registration is still open for recreational fitness, wrestling, and basketball, but time is running out. Homework and aftercare. We currently have over 152 members. We are transporting 90 and escorting 50 students daily. I need to mention that we're working very hard to correct the transportation issues we are experiencing. We are pleased to report that our department will offer the following additions to recreational programming: Parents Holiday Drop-and-Shop Night Out, RP Spring Events, Adult Basketball, Volleyball, Pickleball, and Golf, RP Pack. We believe these changes will afford our community members the requested programming. We have either recently hosted or are scheduled to host the following: Roselle Park Cub, Daisy, and Scout meetings, PTA meetings, NJSIAA official meetings, the Dad's Club public meeting, the CPEG event, Team New Jersey girls wrestling practice, Christmas tree lighting and winter market, 12/2 through 12/4. The ASYC will be open. Middle school winter dance, Rec Pack performing arts program starting Monday, 12/5, and the Rec Diversity Holiday Toy Drive. Recreational sports and fitness program, wrestling. They currently have 40 registrations. Practices have started. They are Monday and Thursday, 6:30 at the ASYC. First competition is away on 12/10. Basketball. We currently have 120 registrations. Practice has started. They are Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 6 o'clock at the ASYC. The basketball draft is 12/8. Team practices and competition dates are being finalized. Fitness. We currently have 14 registrations. Training has started. Fitness is Monday through Friday, either at the ASYC or the high school weight room. Recreational Department will continue to post information on all of our social media platforms. In addition, you can find this information on our borough's website, rosellepark.net, click Recreation. As always, contact the Recreation Department at recreation@rosellepark.net with any questions or concerns. Mayor and Council, that completes my November Recreational Department update. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, John. Just one quick one. So this is maybe an update for you, but maybe more of an update for council. So we do have a grant writer on staff that we have underutilized this year. It's mostly just been a bandwidth issue on our end. I know Jay, Greg, and I have talked about a couple priorities for grant writing. Acker Park is in desperate need of TLC, so there are some short-term fixes on the way. We have the equipment at the Department of Public Works. We just need to get it out, is my understanding. Longer-term fixes, we've kind of told the Aubrey Group, which is our grant writer, to sort of drop all the other priorities and actively look for grants for, our further vision of Acker Park and Loretti Park, and then hopefully down the pipeline, something at Hawthorne. So I don't know if you guys have been engaged yet, but you should be in short order if not.
Okay,
Cool?
look forward to it.
Yep.
Here we have, John and I spoke yesterday, and I believe there's a Zoom scheduled with the Recreation Department and the Aubrey Group next week.
Yeah, Wednesday, 4
I think
o'clock.
Wednesday at 4 o'clock. So they've already started. They've exchanged some basic information, and
Cool.
they're on their way.
Cool. Yeah, once we get closer down the line, John and Nikki have done a fantastic job mocking up some ideas. I don't want to get everybody too excited because they're great ideas. They're not cheap ideas. I definitely want to see what we can figure out in terms of funding for next year and grants, and then show you guys a little bit more concretely what we think is doable within the next 24 months. Cool?
Yep,
Thanks, Coach.
great, thank you.
Yep. Hey, Belucio.
It's like, it's like you didn't want to see me.
Did it.
Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm going to provide you with a report, but it's only a partial report because I do not have the property maintenance figures for November, considering we're just at December 1st. So for the month of November, the construction code element issued 156 permits. Revenue through the end of November is $691,738. The COA development fees received so far this year are $219,478. The sewer connection fees for the year are $154,983. We did issue 3 uniform construction code violations, which I'm actually very happy about because we're starting to see the downtrend on this now because of the aggressive enforcement that we've implemented since I became full-time here. So things are moving along quite nicely. The project at 10 West is moving along quite nicely. They're proceeding, and as you can see, the building A is now completely enclosed as far as the facades. A little bit more work to do, and on the retail portion as well. And Building B is moving along, and we still owe Meridia 2 releases, one on fire and one on electric for that building, which we're working on. As far as the Fernmore project, that's moving along quite nicely as well. They're getting ready to start footing and foundations for the east building. That has been released. It just hasn't been paid for yet, but they plan on bringing in the check this week. So everything's moving in a positive direction. The one item I do want to go over, and I'm kind of doing this impromptu, I want to thank Roselle Park's Police Department, formerly, and unfortunately the chief left, but they gave us a referral based on a call they received the other night. I'm not going to get into particulars, but this happened to be a multifamily dwelling where they converted the rear garage into an apartment, and I mean a nice apartment. Removed structural elements, totally renovated it. It would be something you would see on HDTV.
Yep.
Not one permit, no zoning approval. The property is already a pre-existing non-conforming 3-family dwelling. These items have to be addressed aggressively because this can devastate a community. So we are aggressively going to do what we need to do internally to make sure this gets corrected and it's turned back into a 2-family dwelling, into a legal non-conforming 3-family dwelling, as opposed to an illegal 4-family dwelling. So, but I want to formally thank the Roselle Park Police Department for forwarding that information to us.
Cool.
And if anybody has any questions?
Rich, can I get you just hang out for a second? So, hey, Dennis and Craig, do you guys mind popping up to the mic for a second? Fran, you stay there. Don't worry about it. I don't need a lawyer yet. So,
Mayor and Council.
how's it going, guys?
So for the record, Dennis LaLoya, General Counsel and Vice President of Acquisition and Development for Capitagli Property Company.
Yep.
I'm Craig Ryan, I'm head of real estate, Capitagli Property Company.
And Craig's a much friendlier guy than he comes off. Who's a Craig Rhino. We're going to talk about Sullivan later, but just real quick while I have you guys here, I know there's been a lot of questions about the retail component at what do you guys call the Meridian Westfield?
On Westfield, but
Yeah.
240 and 250.
Yeah, so I'll have you guys back up for other stuff, but I just wanted to mention, so we had discussions about Sullivan, but part and parcel with Meridian Westfield. You guys do have the intent to book this out. I know there's been a couple misfires on potential candidates there, but you do have a broker
Yes.
that's
So
looking
we
for
have-
it? Yeah.
Yeah, Mayor, so we have had a couple tenants that were ready to go in that backed out, but we have since retained Silbert Real Estate and Management Company. They're out of Warren, New Jersey, and they are statewide and nationwide, but they focus on high-end retailers.
Got it. But you do,
And there should be a sign, I believe, in the window as of yesterday or recently, early in the week, with the Silbert sign.
okay, cool. So I just want to clarify, and so way people don't hear from me, you do have every intent to have that place fulfilled and something's going to be there.
Yeah, that's true.
Hopefully something cool.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. I'm going to kick you guys out now. I'll call you back up in a minute. All right.
I just have,
Yeah. For Rich or for these guys?
for Rich.
Okay.
It was a legal three-family, and they made the garage, so they tried to make it a fourth, is that?
That's correct, yes.
And that just, I don't mean to say it this way, but are we sure it was a legal three-family?
Yeah, I did
Okay,
the investigation. It's a legal non-conforming three-family. There's extensive documentation in the tax assessor's office that reflect that. Now, it is a two-family zone, so how it was converted to a three-family, that is something I've always questioned. I'll be very honest with you since I've been here, because I'm seeing a lot of this where I have these non-conforming structures without any board resolution, land use board resolution, or at that time would have been a zoning board resolution or application. So I know there were issues in the past with a former assessor that was here changing property record cards unilaterally. So I'm going to put it right on the record in the public.
Yep.
That's what occurred. This is one where I think that did happen, but to try to correct that situation becomes a legal quagmire. So I'm going with what's on the record, that it's a legal non-conforming three-family based upon the documentation we have available in the tax assessor's office. They actually converted the detached two-car garage into a unit and left the garage door, and the garage is in the rear of the property, so you really can't see it. And this property was just recently sold within the last year.
Well, I'd just like to thank you, because I've been up here for 2 years and part of the fire department. I know the work you've done in the last couple of years. Thank you for that. I'm not sure we had the same success 5 and 10, 20 years ago, so, but thank you.
Yeah,
And
well-
it's nice to hear how the police department and all parties are working together to correct this stuff, because it is an uptick.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, for the record, we're, as department heads, working with Andrew and Ken, the mayor has put together a tremendous team here. And I have to say that publicly. We're working together very well. I'm still scared of Ken, by the way, just so you're aware.
We all are,
Yeah,
Rich.
he's scared.
We all are. And he's got tenure, so I can't do anything about it.
Agreed. So I've been around since the mayor was still in grade school doing
Yeah.
something like that. And I know, but I just know you guys have been doing a good job the last couple of years, so thank you.
Well, thank you for that.
Thanks, Rich. Okay. Mr. Engineer, come on up.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'll be brief. I'm just going to summate and go over the Land Use Board meeting that we had on November 21st. 2 applications were adjourned for the December 19th meeting. That was for 222 Sherman Ave and 22 East West Ave. I believe that's a continuation of the 22 East West Ave application that was heard earlier this year. And then the other topic of discussion was 10 Westfield Ave redevelopment plan regarding a amendment to the additional parking for that property and redevelopment project. Several public comments were heard at this meeting and addressed by the board professionals as well as the board. Other than that, there is no other further comment, no further notes I have for the month of November, but I'm willing to take any questions or comments I have.
Stick around. We're going to be talking about it all night, pal. Any other questions? You actually don't have to stick around. So we don't have to pay you.
Okay.
Like I said, we're scared of the CFO, so leave. Thank you.
Well, if that concludes my time, thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah. I don't know, man. I just felt the daggers. Yeah. All right. All right. May I have a motion to accept the reports of departments as submitted?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Second reading and public hearing on ordinance number 2706 has been rescheduled to December 15th, 2022 due to a delay in legal advertising. Anything you want to add to that, Andrew?
Nope.
Cool. Mr. Clerk, please read ordinance number 2707 by title.
Mr. Mayor, ordinance 2707 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending Chapter 19, Section 2 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Conflicts with Visual Sight, General Access, and/or Utilities.
Okay, may I have a motion to open, to approve public, hello. May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2707 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as December 15th, 2022?
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion? Call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Connolly.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Robina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Belomo.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Please read ordinance 2708 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2708 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending Chapter 7, Section 17, Subsection 2 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Preferential Parking Zones, Locations, and Restrictions.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve ordinance 2708 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as December 15th, 2022?
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion? Call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Connolly.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Robina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Belomo.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Okay, ordinance 2709, can you read that by title, please?
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2709 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending the 2021 revised agreement between the member municipalities of the Railway Valley Sewerage Authority.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance 2709 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as December 15th, 2022?
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion? Call the roll.
Sorry, Mayor. Hold on one second.
Yep.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Connolly.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Robina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Belomo.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Andrew, please read ordinance 2710 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2710 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2694, fixing the salary ranges of non-union employees and officials of the Borough of Roselle Park in the County of Union, State of New Jersey.
Is there any discussion?
Need
Sorry, I have a motion to approve ordinance 2710 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as December 15th, 2022.
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion? Call the roll, Andrew.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Connolly.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Robina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Belomo.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Lovely. Okay, so may I have a motion to move out of the regular meeting order for consideration of resolutions number 334-22, 335-33,
22, sorry.
335-22,
22.
336-22, 337-22, and 338-22.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Andrew, please read resolution 334-22 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Resolution 33422 is incorporating recommendation number 1 of 5 of the Municipal Land Use Board into the proposed First Amendment to the 10 West Westfield Avenue redevelopment plan, Block 610, Lot 3.01, former lots 1 and 3, dated December 15th, 2022.
Andrew, can you please describe the recommendation?
Sure. Just give me 1 second.
And why don't we have, just at the ready, Rich, Mr. Planner, you guys can go over there. Fran, Capadagli, you guys want to take that mic over here in case there's any questions?
Stand by the standby.
Get those mics on. Dennis, you want to come up?
All right.
You sit on his lap.
Oh, boy. All right, so recommendation number 1 of 5, there are 5 recommendations coinciding with the 5 resolutions. Recommendation number 1 is exactly modify section 40-24061C1B3 of the First Amendment to provide that a minimum of 1 dedicated parking space shall be included in the base rent for each residential dwelling unit in the redevelopment area.
Got it. Okay. Did I ask for a motion to adopt? No. I asked you to read it. Okay. May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 334-22?
So move. Second.
Is there any discussion? And just real quick, while we have representatives, so Fran and Dennis, I would assume you guys have chatted about this before. I don't think there's any aversion to this from a development perspective.
Correct, none.
Okay, cool. Any discussion? Cool. Well, I think this is going to be good. So, Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Connolly?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Signorello?
Yes.
Councilman Rabina?
Yes.
Councilwoman Belomo?
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor, the resolution is adopted.
Andrew, please read Resolution 335-22 by title.
Yes, Mayor, Resolution 335-22 is incorporating recommendation number 2 of 5 from the Municipal Land Use Board into the proposed First Amendment to the 10 West Westerly Avenue redevelopment plan, Block 610, Lot 3.01, former Lots 1 and 3, dated December 15, 2022.
And this recommendation is recommending?
This recommendation is recommending modification to Section 40-24061C1B4 of the First Amendment to provide that parking structures shall provide 50 municipal parking spaces dedicated to the borough, excuse me, for public use at the borough's discretion.
Okay, great. Yeah, may I have a motion to adopt Resolution 335-22? Is
So move. Second.
there any discussion? Similar story. I don't think this is controversial one. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know. Fran, did you want to say something?
No.
Okay, cool. Any discussion? So this is just as a reminder, which I think is great from council. Discussion was, we were at 20, can we go higher than that? Everybody's going higher than that, which I think is great. Okay, and I'll call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Connolly?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Signorello?
Yes.
Councilman Rabina?
Yes.
Councilwoman Belomo?
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor, the resolution is adopted.
Please read Resolution 336-22 by title.
Yes, Mayor, Resolution 336-22 is incorporating recommendation number 3 of 5 from the Municipal Land Use Board into the proposed First Amendment to the 10 West Westfield Avenue redevelopment plan, Block 610, Lot 3.01, former Lots 1 and 3, dated December 15, 2022. The recommendation is modify 40-24061C1C2 to provide that the front and siding facades of the levels 3 through 8 shall be aesthetically consistent with the residential buildings.
May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 336-22? Is
So move. Second.
there any discussion?
Mayor,
Yeah.
on this one, I had a discussion after there, and there seemed to be some misunderstanding, and I read the design codes. I don't think this is necessary. We can put it in, but how we have it written now, the whole building has to be
Okay.
in context.
So that's fine then. So, I mean, whatever. If it makes everybody feel better,
It makes everyone feel better. We'll have
the
extra
land use
teeth
board
in
will
it.
feel heard, then we'll just vote in the yay on this. Got it. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So discussion, right? So, and I agree with what you're saying, because doesn't that kind of leave it open where, like, the first floor to the third floor can be any way that they want if we put this in here?
Well, what I think our planner is saying is that the redevelopment agreement or the plan is actually more stringent than this is even asking for. So this is kind of a little bit of it's duplicative and kind of a moot point, to be frank, but
Right, but does this cancel out what was said?
no.
I can phrase
No,
it in
this-
a way to say, specifically concentrating on the
Okay.
3rd through 8, and just make
Yeah.
it clear that the building in a whole has to comply.
Okay,
Does that sound acceptable?
right, yes.
Okay. Any further discussion? Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Connolly?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Belomo.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The resolution is adopted.
What are we on, 337 now?
Yes.
Okay, please read Resolution 337-22 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Resolution 33722 is a resolution incorporating recommendation number 4 of 5 from the Municipal Land Use Board into the proposed First Amendment to the 10 West Westfield Avenue redevelopment plan, Block 610, Lot 3.01, former Lots 1 and 3, dated December 15, 2022. The recommendation is to delete 40-24062A of the First Amendment and revise the First Amendment to reflect a density of 325 units consistent with the redevelopment agreement.
So just again, in layman's terms, may I have a motion to adopt Resolution 337-22?
So moved. Second.
So this is a little bit of house cleaning. Is there any discussion? The original plan was 370 units. The agreement ended up at 325. I think this is just house cleaning to say, just make it consistent. This is, again, should be relatively non-controversial. Any further discussion? Okay. Call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Connolly.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Belomo.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The resolution is adopted.
Andrew, 338-22 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Resolution 33822 is incorporating the recommendation number 5 of 5 from the Municipal Land Use Board into the proposed First Amendment to the 10 West Westfield Avenue redevelopment plan, Block 610, Lot 3.01, former Lots 1 and 3, dated December 15, 2022. Recommendation reads as follows: electric vehicle supply/service equipment locations shall be subject to review and approval by the Borough Fire Department and Borough Engineer. Need a motion.
Is there a motion to adopt Resolution 338-22?
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion? This is just an easy yes, I would assume. Yeah. Okay. Call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Connolly.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Belomo.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The resolution is adopted.
Okay, you guys are almost done. Andrew, please read ordinance number 2711 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Sorry, let me just. Ordinance number 2711 is an ordinance, it's an ordinance for introduction. An ordinance adopting the proposed amendments to the 10 West Westfield Avenue redevelopment plan, blocks 610, lot 3.01, former lots 1 and 3 of the Borough of Roselle Park, New Jersey, pursuant to the local redevelopment and housing law, NJSA 40A:12A-1 et sec.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance 2711 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as December 15th, 2022?
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion? So I'm going to give a brief overview of how we got here and also a reminder logistically on what is to come. So this is proposing adopting changes to the redevelopment plan.
Correct. Plan.
Give me death stares if I'm off.
I
Fran.
will.
Assuming that this should pass, then it would need a second reading the next meeting, where we would also potentially adopt a revised redevelopment agreement, where some of these finer points that we've actually discussed in the land use board could actually be in as well and have greater teeth, to be quite frank, because the redevelopment agreement is really like, this is what we're going to build. Is that a fair summation?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And just for those of you tuning in at home that didn't see last meeting, we have had Meridia, Cabot Agley Group, came in, invested in Roselle Park, one of our first developers in a very, very long time, come in. We have a fully booked out, near capacity initial project.
From Westfield, yes.
Yeah, yep. From a residential perspective. Actually, we just found out, too, we got an update on how many kids. So you guys are like ping pong. So the first year, it was 3 students. Then earlier this year was 9 school-age students. It is now only 2 school-age students, actually, which is interesting. So makes sense. They're small apartments.
And I think, Mayor, there might be 4 or 5 apartments that are not leased up there, so that gives you perspective.
Just to, yeah, which is, thank you, Dennis. That's good. Yeah. Now, look, Roselle Park was a little bit new to redevelopment. Cabot Agley's a little bit new to Roselle Park. I think we realized that not all the residents are so reliant on public transport as we had hoped. Parking has been not so much of an issue there as on the site, but more offshoot into some of the side streets has become a problem, which is why Capodagle wants to put more parking on this new development. And as a result, we asked to have some concessions, some more parking spots for us, which I think came through, and also making sure that at least one space is allocated per apartment within the rent. Is that right, Dennis? Yep. And I also, so this is somewhat related to this, but we also have an update on the new plan going forward with the existing site. So what we've incorporated into the new site, you guys are going to incorporate into the existing site. Is that fair to say, Dennis?
That is correct.
So from now on, new rentals and renewals, is it going to be as well, are also going to be, so it's no longer going to be you pay for the rent and you pay for a spot. The spot will be baked into the rent. So just using a rough example, on the existing site and the new site, if the rent is $3,000 a month and a parking fee is $150 a month, the new rent will be $31.50 a month, and that'll be all inclusive of parking spot and the apartment. Is that
is
a
fair.
fair summary? Cool.
Yeah, except the rents aren't 3,000.
Okay. I was just using nice round numbers. I mean, you guys can raise them. We get more revenue from it. So the change would be now to allow for a larger parking deck. Everybody's got the little, I think, the map over here. And it is technically an 8-story building, but I think it's worth noting that it's basically going out above the 2 residential buildings about 22 feet, because that 8 story is a little bit of a phantom story.
Correct.
There's peaks and troughs there. Is that fair to say?
And also, the definition of story specifically for this is that the rooftop parking counts as a story.
Yep.
So, in the
So it's-
definition code, stories, you have to have a top and a bottom.
Yeah. So you could call it 7, but it's, for the purposes of this, it's technically 8.
Correct.
Okay. So did I say anything false, or did I miss anything? Professionals, Borough Administration, Fran?
The only thing I would say, and I don't know if Fran's going to say it now, before you vote on the ordinance, you need to amend it to incorporate the recommendations that you voted on.
Was that what you were going to say?
That's correct, yes.
Cool. Okay. So now, can we vote to amend it first and then vote it up and down
That's
as a
what you
matter of
have to.
procedure? Okay, got it. Okay. So from a procedural perspective, for any council that still wants to debate it, discuss it, whatever, I would propose that we incorporate all the recommendations first, and then we could vote yay, nay, holistically, if everybody's amenable to that.
No, it makes sense.
Okay. Do I have a motion to amend ordinance number 2711 based on the recommendations from the Land Use Board?
So move.
Second.
Okay. There's no discussion on amendments, right?
No.
Yeah, okay. Call the roll, Andrew.
Oh, there's discussion on
Oh,
amendments.
is there any discussion on the proposal to amend? Okay, I'm hearing none.
Can I ask a question of Fran? Do you want to make the record clear as to what those amendments are, or?
Absolutely. So it's the 12th recital in the ordinance that's now going to read, whereas on December 1st, 2022, the Borough Council reviewed and considered the LUB recommendations and 1, adopted resolutions approving LUB recommendations 1 through 5, which are incorporated in the First Amendment. The amended redevelopment plan is set forth in the record. The language in there as disapproved, and disapproved LUB recommendations for the reasons will be struck from the ordinance. We will also be amending the exhibit to the ordinance to be consistent with the LUB recommendations.
Thank you. Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Connolly.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Belomo.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, the proposed ordinance is amended.
Okay.
So you need a motion.
To approve
Adopt.
to adopt as amended.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So do I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2711 as amended for introduction and fix the date for second reading public hearing as December 15th, 2022?
So move.
Second.
I gave a lot of preamble. Is there any discussion? Council, have at it.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah.
Just a question. I don't know if anyone could answer that. Is there any particular reason we couldn't explore maybe going one level down. I know during the land use board meeting and during previous council, no one really elaborated on that.
Yeah, so let me take a crack at it, and I think the benefit of having Dennis and Craig here is, like, we can get in real-time feedback from these guys, too. So my view, and I think the general view of the land use board, because there was this discussion, was, look, if philosophically you have an issue, if you think it looks awkward going above the residential buildings, it's going to look awkward if that's your issue at 6 stories or at 7 stories, right? I think the other thing that was brought up, which is worth noting, is that unlike the residential buildings, this is 100 yards back from the street, so I think there was less of an apprehension. I mean, I don't want to put words in your guys' mouth, but I know when you originally broached me about this, you were just happy to get more parking one way or the other. This is what you saw as, like, best case scenario, so everybody's happy. You know, theoretically, I'm not advocating for this. Theoretically, if we said, hey, you only get 7 stories, I think you'd be appreciative of the 7 stories, but you'd, based on your experience in Roselle Park now, your preference would be the full 8. Is that fair? Yeah.
I just want to say for the record that I think the amenities to alleviate the parking are outstanding, or else I wouldn't even voted yes on the resolution and the amendment. So that's not even my concern at all. I appreciate you guys actually, willing to come back to the table and revisit that. But I mean, I still, just to set the record straight, I still would have preferred at least one level or so lower. I know, not to be argumentative, I know that, we're going past regardless, but I'm more of a factual, intrinsic guy, and, there is a difference between 35 feet and 15 feet, just to set the record. For me, I can't speak on behalf of my colleagues, but on the same token, I am appreciative of all of these amenities that you added to this. I'm not opposed to the redevelopment. I just would love to have, personally my way in getting, a story lower, or so. That's my beef and that's my gripe.
Yeah, and just as a matter of, so totally noted, and just as a matter of, again, procedure here, right? So theoretically, if you wanted to, if you were against the 8 stories but wanted 7 stories, you could also vote yes tonight on the plan, and if, we decide, hey, 7 stories is the right answer, then 7 stories could be factored into the agreement. Is that fair?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that could be in the agreement.
Yeah.
Well, Mayor, my real gripe is, I haven't had the opportunity to be a part of this.
No, you weren't here from the beginning. Yeah. Understood.
So.
Okay. Any further discussion? I'm hearing none. Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Connolly.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
I'm going to abstain.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Robina.
Yes.
Councilman Belomo.
No.
4 votes in the affirmative, 1 in the negative, 1 abstention. The motion is agreed to. The ordinance is introduced.
Great. Thanks, guys. You can head out. Thanks, everybody. Yep. Okay. All matters listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests, in which case the item will be removed from consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda as part of the general orders. Andrew, please read all resolutions on the consent agenda by title.
Yes, Mayor. Resolution 33922 is authorizing submission of year 49 community development block grant applications. Resolution 34022 is authorizing cancellation of small property tax and sewer utility balances. Resolution 34122 is authorizing appropriation transfers. Resolution 34222 is awarding a contract to Riverview Paving for the project Central Business District sidewalk improvements in the amount not to exceed $961,900.40. Resolution 34322 is authorizing a $5,000 increase to the professional service contract with Garubo and Capice PC as labor attorney for the year 2022, reflecting a revised contract amount not to exceed $45,000. Resolution 34422 is accepting the resignation of Ray Gorney from the position of high school/college counselor. Resolution 34522 is accepting the resignation of Amelia Weiland from the position of high school/college counselor. Resolution 34622 is amending Resolution number 30922 to correct a clerical error and reauthorizing the open-ended purchase of regular 87-octane unleaded gasoline from National Fuel Oil, Inc. pursuant to Somerset County Cooperative Pricing System Contract Number CC-0045-22 with a roughly 8.5 cent per gallon upcharge.
Do any members wish to have any items removed from the consent agenda? May I have a motion to approve the resolutions remaining on the consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry, there's usually somebody pulling something, so. Okay, reports of Borough Council/committees. Mr. Council President, you want to kick us off?
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, first of all, I want to send my condolences out to Eileen Cummins, a lifer. She lived in this town her whole life. She was 80-some years old. She used to live on Sheridan Avenue. I went to school with her son. I knew her very well, so my condolences go out to the family. Mary Bruno, Evelyn Toll, Kathy Cadigan, and Nancy Bay. Kathy Cadigan was a 1974 graduate of Roselle Park High School. On November 22nd, I attended the bonfire. On the 23rd, I attended the annual Roselle football game. The 29th, we had the historical meeting, and Gary Augustine will be the president of the Historical Society. We had elections that night, so he will be the historian and also the president. On the 30th, we had the community special event. On December 2nd will be the Christmas tree lighting from 4 to 8. On the 3rd and 4th will be the winter market from 2 to 8. On the 9th will be the senior holiday party at Aldine School at 12:45. On the 18th will be the Santa Parade of Lights, which will start at 7 o'clock at the train station. And then let me just give a quick, since Ruben couldn't make it tonight, he asked me to. Okay, for tomorrow night, the annual Christmas tree lighting ceremony, there'll be free kids activities, crafts and food vendors, beer garden. There'll be an ice skating rink, free family portraits with Santa and Mrs. Claus, featuring Aldine Elementary Choir, and Isabel Lattori will also be singing. On the 3rd and 4th, from 2 to 8, at the Mike Morey Park, will be crafts and food vendors, beer garden, free kids activities, and mechanical rides, Boy Scouts and Girl Scout tables, and featuring live performers from local artists every hour, starting at 3 p.m. And if you need to find anything else about what's going on this weekend, you can go on social media and the Borough of Roselle Park website. If you need to contact me, you can get me at jpatrosky@rosellepark.net, and my phone number is 908-666-7821. And the last thing I have to say is basketball will be picked, teams will be picked on the 8th, as Coach Vanieri just told us. So, and wrestling has been going on. So I think they're going to start, they have a match next week. That's my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thanks, Councilman. Councilman Signorella?
Well, I also attended the bonfire and Roselle Park, football game in Roselle. Nice field having Roselle. We didn't get shut out. And I was talking to a lot of people that night, and somebody says, hey, your nephew's quarterbacking. And my nephew got in because the quarterback got hurt, and I seen him do a couple nice things. Just want to remind you, the grand opening is this Sunday, and maybe Jody, you could help me pronounce it better. Lido's, huh? Lidio's, thank you. Flowers and Cafe is having a grand opening on Sunday. I went in there today, and I was in awe at what they did inside there. I've been in that dry cleaners 100 times since I got my driver's license. My father used to ask me to go pick up his stuff there and whatever, and you wouldn't believe it. Really came out nice. I hope they have success there. I think it's going to be a good place to get a cup of coffee and some pastries in the morning or at night. So hope the best for them. Just a little reminder on, and kudos to the construction department. People have been putting their leaves in the gutters. They're not supposed to on Henry Street. And bag them or put them in a bucket for Wednesday or Thursday evening, wherever you live on what side of the town. So other than that, that's the end of my report, and hope everybody can get out this weekend and try to join the Winterfest at Gazebo Park. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Johnson?
Caught me off guard.
I'm doing number order this time.
Me too tonight.
All right. Good evening, Mayor, Council, residents, and guests. I just wanted to take a moment to recognize this month as Universal Human Rights Month, in which the Declaration was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly on the 10th of December back in 1948. For all those who may not be aware, these universal rights are essential to all of us, no matter what religion, nationality, creed, gender, color, etc. We should all, as human beings, have the basic fundamental rights to life, food, education, health, and liberty. At this time, I also would like to take a moment to congratulate Micah Stone on his retirement. We truly appreciate all the years of service that you dedicated to this borough. Your services and level of expertise will be missed. Just to name a few of Mike's levels of expertise, he is a ISA certified arborist, a New Jersey certified tree expert, and a licensed pesticide applicator. So,
What was the last one?
Applicator?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. When I was looked it up, I was like, oh, okay.
Good on him.
So kudos to him. Well deserved. On another note, I must say that every time I see something come to fruition while on council that I also helped advocate for, still seems surreal and amazing to me, especially when that endeavor is for the betterment of residents and the borough overall. On behalf of the Dalton Street residents, I just want to give a special thanks to Mayor Signorello III, who is always willing to sit down and discuss various ways on how we can implement and improve upon upgrading our infrastructure needs here within the borough of Roselle Park. So thank you, Mayor. I truly appreciate that. Mayor, outstanding job. And also thank you to the New Jersey Department of Transportation for approving this grant application submission. At this time, I also would like to wish my firstborn, Nakira Daniel Johnson, happy upcoming birthday. I love you and I'm proud of you, and I wish you many, many more. Also, please remember, business owners, if you don't see your name or listing on our website, borough website, to please reach out to either me or Andrew, and we will gladly reach out to Boom Local on your behalf. I also attended the bonfire. Now, let's all take our time to be neighborly to one another this upcoming holiday season. If you need to get in contact with me, please email me at gjohnson@rosellepark.net, or you could call me at 908-303-1519. And Mayor, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Belomo?
Good evening. Roselle Park Veterans Memorial Library will be hosting a book signing of a local author, Martin Charles, on December 13th at 6 p.m. His novel entitled Dead Ending is for fans of modern-day suspense and action. Martin is a longtime resident of Roselle Park, and he's a member of the JCC for 27 years. A percentage of each sale of his book will go to Cooperman Barnabas Burn Unit in Livingston. If you'd like more information on programs running in the Roselle Park Veterans Memorial Library, you can call the library at 908-245-2456 or go to the borough website and click on the link that will bring you to the library's webpage. The Environmental Commission Committee continues to seek volunteers for Shade Tree Subcommittee. The Green Team and community garden. If you'd like to get involved or contact, you can go to the committee's Facebook page, Roselle Park Environmental Commission. Roselle Park Small Business Network, due to the holiday seasons, we're not meeting in November and December. Our meeting will be at Iorio Deli on January 24th, which is a Tuesday. If you're interested in, or you're a small business in Roselle Park, you can join our Facebook page at Roselle Park Small Business Network and participate in our survey. Roselle Park Girl Scout Troop, 400908, are collecting new warm pajamas of all sizes, hats, gloves, and scarves for an organization called Family Promises that supports families experiencing homelessness in Union County. Drop-off locations are Joe and Jody's Barbershop, Iorio's Deli, Anthony Signorella Youth Center, and the Roselle Park Veterans Memorial Library. Roselle Park 24/7, positively Roselle Park 24/7, annual toy drive, and our annual holiday lights contest has begun. If you're interested in participating in our annual holiday lights contest, please check out our Facebook page at Positively Roselle Park 24/7. Our toy drop locations are Brennan's Bedding, Roselle Park Wines and Spirit, Roselle Park Veterans Memorial Library, the West End Club, Just Jubilant, Iorio Deli, and Joe and Jody's Barbershop. All toys collected will be distributed to Roselle Park families in need first, then will be distributed to the organizations listed. This is a great way to give back to our community. Here are some upcoming events to look forward to. I'm going to repeat what Joe had to say. Tomorrow night, Friday, December 2nd, from 4 to 8, our annual Christmas tree lighting. There'll be free kids' activities, crafts, and food vendors, an ice skating rink, and free portraits with Santa and Mrs. Claus. Saturday and Sunday continues, December 3rd and 4th, from 2 to 8 p.m. The winter market will continue with all above, and live performances every hour from local artists starting at 3. And on Sunday, December 18th, at 7 p.m., Santa's Parade of Lights. Check out the borough's Facebook page for the route so that you don't miss Santa. And if you need to get in contact with me, you can contact me at jbalomo@rosellepark.net. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Connolly.
Also, I'd like to congratulate Mike Stone on his retirement. Actually, I knew him much longer than most. He actually worked with my father and my uncle. They started off in the tree service, and then he stepped up and started his own. Then he ended up over here. And I congratulate you. Have an excellent and great retirement. You deserve it. You did a great job in Roselle Park, and you did a lot of good things here as an arborist. Also, I just want people to recognize all those veterans that are overseas during these holiday seasons. It's very difficult for them. And this is where we were talking about mental illness, and this is where it affects those that were discharged, especially now after Afghanistan, Kuwait, and now they're starting to deploy in Africa again. So please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. I really ask you to do that. I wanted to bring up about space heaters. There's been a lot of fires, not here, but in Elizabeth and in New York. Please, use a surge protector. Keep them away from your curtains or any flammable. It's common sense. So I know most of us in Roselle Park will keep that in mind. If you need to contact me, you can email me at mconley@rosellepark.net. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks, Councilman. Councilman Urbina?
Well, good evening, Mayor, and good evening, Roselle Park. I hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. On November 19th, I was fortunate enough to pick up produce, pantry goods, hams, turkeys from the county's holiday food distribution event for the Cassano Center Food Pantry. Please note, if you or someone you know is experiencing food insecurity, the last emergency drive-up food distribution event will be held at Kane University on Saturday, December 17 at 8 a.m. The first 2,500 persons will receive a box of food and produce. It's rain or shine, and please bring ID. On November 21st, I attended the Municipal Land Use Board meeting as council liaison, hearing a proposal to amend the redevelopment plan for the redeveloped area located at 10 West Westfield Ave. The borough and the redeveloper identified certain parking issues with the redevelopment project, and we're seeking to amend the plan to revise general design standards for parking structures and parking requirements. The meeting led to the 5 recommendations by the board for Borough Council that we just voted on. Many individuals were in the audience, about a dozen, including a member of council with 2 residents speaking during the public portion regarding the design and height elements. We discussed a number of solutions, including subterranean parking, which wasn't feasible at the time. As a result, and among the recommendations, 1 dedicated parking spot per unit, which will end up being included in the base rent. Another increasing the set-aside of parking space from 10 up to 50 for public and municipal use. And a request for facade design elements of levels 3 to 8 to be consistent with the residential buildings, and tightening up wording on the agreement to not exceed 325 rental units. For the record, I've not had many objections by the residents I represent in the 5th Ward, and we know that parking in our downtown and any downtown is at a premium. For example, Cranford Crossing has a 6-story, 310 parking deck, and it can still be challenging to find a spot. I am glad to hear about the solution for the parking at the First Meridia to help alleviate the parking issues in the 4th Ward. Moving on the 22nd, my daughter and I attended the bonfire at the high school. It was a well-attended event. Great job by the marching band, color guard, and a big thanks to the fire department, police department. Regarding infrastructure and cost savings, Myrtle Ave residents just wanted to say thanks to Mayor Signorello, B.A. Kasai, Councilman at Large Signorello, their CFO, Ken Blum, and of course the NJDOT for awarding the borough nearly $370,000 in funding to offset the total cost of replacing the entire roadway of Myrtle Avenue in the 4th and 5th wards. Approximately 1,900 feet in total, ADA walkway improvements, stormwater infrastructure upgrades. These funds will also be used for approximately 900 feet of road and curbing in the 1st ward, as Councilman Johnson alluded to earlier.
You already know. You already know I'm in there.
I know it. That's what I'm saying. That's what Dalton, you got 900 feet. I got 900.
5 and 1.
Municipal.
My 2 favorites.
I know you mean that with love too.
I do. Municipal lot across from the high school Wolffield has been paved. Having not known till joining council that it was technically a municipal lot, since it's primarily used by the high school during the school year, I thank B.A. Casais and Mayor Signorello for asking the Board of Education on my behalf to contribute to the cost of repaving in order to offset costs by municipal taxpayers. We saved $50,000. I'd like to thank the county commissioners for awarding the borough with $63,000 for that project from the 2022 Infrastructure Municipal Aid Grant as well. And all of Maplewood Avenue was paved. Mayor, on behalf of the 5th Ward, we've had over a dozen streets paved in the last year and a half. Thank you. Thank you very much for greenlighting these projects.
Thanks, Ken.
Look at Ken's face.
Thanks, gas company.
Also, this Sunday, December 4th, as Councilman at Large Signorello noted, at noon before the day 3 of the winter market, there will be the grand opening of Lidio's Cafe and Flowers at 570 West Westfield Ave between the Burger King and Sun Tavern in the former Aldine Cleaners. So if you're around, please stop by to welcome and patronize this great addition to the west end of our borough. On December 10th from...
Is that 5th Ward or 4th Ward? Is that 5th Ward or 4th Ward? 4th.
It's right across from...
Okay.
Con John beat you out for it, man. It's a nice addition.
On December 10th, from 2 to 3:30, the county families with children with different abilities and special needs, there's a Skating with Santa event at Warren Ankle Sports Center in Roselle. Please feel free to attend. It's hosted by the county's Office of Persons with Disabilities and Special Needs. Registration is required. Visit ucnj.org/OPDSN-reg, or call 908-527-4781. As the council liaison to the Board of Health, today is World AIDS Day, so I wanted to raise awareness and recognize everyone in our community living with HIV/AIDS, and we remember those who lost their lives. Today's goal is to fight stigma, inequalities, and to support everyone leading the charge to end transmission of this deadly disease. There are over 1.2 million people in the U.S. living with HIV, and 1 in 8 don't even know they have it. So to learn more, for testing, treatment, and resources, visit www.ryanwhite.hrsa.gov. December 13th, the Board of Health will be meeting at Borough Hall at 5 p.m. Speaking on health, I shared the aging outreach packet with our Board of Health clerk and Director Shaw, and we are currently working to bring the county's aging services kiosk to the Casano Center for our seniors and caregivers. If you or someone you know is suffering with the holiday blues, a mental health and support directory is posted on my Facebook page, or feel free to call the Union County Department of Human Services at 908-527-4847, or call or text 988 for suicide or crisis resources. Thank you to all who have reached out and all who continue to contact me so I can help them address their concerns. I'm at 862-236-0019, jrabine@rosellepark.net. Mayor, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman. My report, get your seasonal flu shot. Just got mine. Get your updated COVID shot. Just got mine. Have a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you guys this weekend. Concludes my report. Mayor Sig at rosellepark.net if you have any questions. We'll be back on December 15th. So I'll say Merry Christmas again then.
My birthday.
Happy birthday to Jay. Bring a cake. Okay. May I have a motion to open the public portion on any subject?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody like to come up and speak?
Good night, Mayor, Cinderella, everybody in the council. My name is Mauricio Giron, and I'm a resident of Roselle Park for the last 20 years, so I've been seeing the change in the administration, that's for sure. I'm a owner of a single unit, family unit, and 148 Bridge Street, and I'm going to spell it B-R-I-D-G-E, because the very first time I always said it, everybody said, like, what? It's a bridge? No, a bridge.
We got, I got it.
So, since a lot of work is being done, and that's how public work works, you know. Since I've been living in Roselle Park, in the last 10 years, I've been having sewers backflooding with the last 2 hurricanes, waist height, you know what I mean, in my basement. And not only my house in 148, but 143, 144, 147, 151, 152, 155, 156. And this part of the block is just the middle of the block.
Yep.
There is not enough sewer drainage. So the last time I had 2 cars total lost, okay? I was able to get 1 out of the driveway because it was a Tesla, you know? And that we have a lot of, you know, damage. And I lost dryer, washer, freezer, and I had to replace the water heater. Zero money from the insurance. Even they sent some appraisal. Thank God for FEMA and Union County. You know what I mean? Because it was really, really bad. And it was very difficult to try to get in touch with them and try to be helpful, and there was no help. So noticing that a lot of repayment is being done now, and you know what I mean, and I appreciate that, and also the upgrade in the gas meter readers and all that is being a good change. Before they hit our block, you know what I mean? I don't know if something can be done so to put a little bit more drawer or upgrade the sewer, because it's really, really a headache, you know what I mean? And that I try to probably gonna change the insurance too, because I don't have to pay more if I'm gonna cover sewer now, you know? It didn't exist before.
Yeah.
20 years ago, that was not.
Yeah.
And we are not in a flooding area either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we are completely alone. So that's why I come in here, and since like I know the repair is gonna be done, I don't know when, but I know it's gonna be done.
Yep.
Before than that, I spoke with some neighbors, and one of my neighbors just behind me, and I tell them, you know, we should try to get to the council. And by the way, it's very healthy the way you guys working. I congratulate your mayor and your council, because it's very healthy. There is people that abstain and some proposal and amendment, and some people say no, because that's the right way how the public works. You know what I mean? So I really congratulate everybody, and I hope we're gonna hear from you guys. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. So thank you for the compliment. We usually get beat up, so it's nice to get a compliment.
God bless.
Yeah, hey, Mr. Negron, can we just get your phone number before you go?
Sure.
So the short answer is, yeah, you don't have to announce it. Don't tell everybody.
Okay.
You can just give it to Andrew. But first off, likewise, usually people talk about these things after the fact, after there's nothing we could do about it. So thank you for being proactive, which is the right time to do it. Actually, our new engineer just suggested this before you guys had mentioned. We do have an aging sewer system. Before we do any road work, to do a scope and make sure that, what we can and should address before anything's paved. This way we're not doing double work because,
Yes.
forget about the issues you guys are having, which are not nothing. If all of a sudden we repave a street and the sewer system blows up, then we just wasted a new pave job too. So, which is very possible because they're 100-year-old systems.
That's what I think, I hope they're not gonna fix it right now. Because
Yeah.
I hit it before it's been done.
Yeah. So just short and sweet. Andrew's got your number. Thank you again for bringing it up, and it is something that we will address before we do any paving.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. Have a good night.
Doing the studies pretty soon, right? Is that
Yeah,
next
that's
year?
gonna be stormwater focused though.
Stormwater,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, well, the other thing is we potentially might put up the sewer system for sale,
Yeah.
but that's another.
But we have been cleaning out the sewers as we
Yeah.
do the paving too. Yeah.
Improvements.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Wydra Parham, and I'm at 152 Bridge, and I'm also here about the flooding. I just bought my house in 2019, and this is my third sump pump. That's how much water is coming in the basement, and that's not normal.
And do you get it on just like normal heavy rains or like the items?
Any rain day.
Yeah.
See, that's not good.
Okay.
Like mine.
And that's like at, whatever it is, the half horsepower sump pump, which is more than standard for my size house. And then also, hear about the city trees in front of my home. I did call 3 times and nothing is done about the trees. I haven't heard back. So I just wanted that added to the record. It's damaging now, not only lifting the sidewalk, which was also replaced by the sidewalk program.
Yep.
And that's only been 2 years, and the sidewalks are lifting again, in addition to my driveway and my neighbor's driveway.
Got it. Can you just what's the 150?
152.
Okay, so he's got it. Okay. So we'll have Paul take a look at it.
Okay.
2 things. Is there anything else?
That was it.
Okay, cool. So 2 things. One is a little bit longer term, good stuff. We're gonna have a Roselle Park app soon. So you don't have to call with the DPW anymore. You can just take a picture of the issue and send it directly there,
I
which,
did that as well. I sent a picture as well.
okay. Well, hopefully the app makes it better. Maybe I just need to chase them more, but we'll get a look at that. And then we'll take a look at whatever stormwater or wastewater issues are going on. The one thing I do want to caution is, look, I used to live in the 5th Ward, Ashwood Avenue, lots of groundwater there, right? And if I got a little bit of water or a little bit of rain, my sump pump would be going off. So obviously, I think it's in our best interest and your best interest to look into whatever the sewer issues are. But if there's groundwater issues, right, then you might want to think about getting a French drain or something like that. But definitely, if it's sewage issues, that's something that we will need to look into.
But we're talking about even when we have a little bit of rain,
Yep.
our street floods.
Yep.
Like, you cannot get into your car flooding.
Yeah.
It's bad in the middle.
We should also maybe look at the stormwater.
Yeah, we're
drains.
going to pull the stormwater maps for the
Okay.
area. We have very old maps, but they're roughly accurate.
Okay.
We'll check out where we could possibly add to the system on Bridge Street before we
It's
pave
definitely not
it.
been like this the whole time. It's been since they dug up for the gas lines.
Yeah, I mean, so honestly, there could be a collapse in one of the lines.
Okay.
That we'll just need to televise those lines, and it's a very tedious process, and it takes a while, but we need to get it started if you guys are telling us there's an issue there.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming. Honestly, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Public discussion? Hello.
Linda McCready, 26 East Colfax Avenue, Roselle Park. With you mentioning flu shots and boosters for COVID, the Westfield Board of Health, we're liaison with, are offering free injections in clinics all through local areas, so that if you want a flu shot, all you have to do is call them, and they'll tell you where
To go.
they'll be able to do it.
Awesome. Cool.
Okay?
Thanks, Linda.
Sounds.
Anybody else? I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public portion on any subject?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There are no matters for closed session this evening. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Great job, everyone.
They're coming.